Hello, everyone. Megazip here, and welcome back to Satisfactory. All right, so we have some work to do today. We got to build a pretty good size concrete plant because, well, concrete is kind of like the thing that we need the most of, and yeah, it's a lot of the things that we do, a lot of the buildings, factories, whatever, we need concrete. So originally, I was going to go over to this area over here because there's like a bunch of nodes. Well, that's not actually where we're going to set this up today. We're actually going to be going over here and setting it up over there instead. And before we do that, um, so what it is it's two pure nodes. Okay, so two pure nodes. So we need two Mark II miners. Okay. Now I'm gonna be using the wet concrete alternative recipe, and that's why we're doing it over there because there's an abundance of water, and we're going to kind of explain a little bit about that area because that's well, I'll tell you about it in a minute. So each one of the miners is going to use 4 refineries, which means we need 8 refineries. So we need 8 refineries. Now, when it comes to water, we're going to need 4 extractors because I need 400 cubic meters of water for every 4 refineries, so 800 total. And we're going to do that with 4 water extractors. I could probably do this with 3, but I'm going to split them up as in separate groups so that way it just is a little more efficient. And that's really it. So I also need to make sure I'm going to be using the Mark II pipes. So I will have to make sure I do have plenty of plastic. And I think I have more inside the truck here. So let me just take a look. I'm going to drive the truck over. Yeah, so I've got plenty of plastic over here. They're talking about I need more steel pipes. Everything else I have. Industrial case beams. We're going to be pulling from the thing. I have some on me. I have 165. The rest is coming from the dimensional depot, which is fine. Now I actually have a small over at the starter base. I did build a little bit of a concrete thing there, so I have concrete available to me in order to do the building that I need to do. So there is that. I think I still have some pipes over here. Yeah. So I just need, we'll just take 2 stacks. And we're going to head over that way. And we're going to work on this this factory. And it uses a similar setup to what I did over here with the plastic and rubber. You know how I have those kind of separated. That's kind of what I'm going for. The only real difference is it also needs water, right? And there's no byproduct, so it just makes concrete, which is going to be perfect for what we're going to be doing. Hope everyone had a safe Independence Day on July 4th. Still have all your fingers and toes, as they say. My wife and I we watched a movie. We didn't end up watching Independence Day. We watched something else instead. So watched a different movie. Just didn't really feel like watching Independence Day. So maybe next year we'll watch Will Smith help save the world, along with a few other famous people. So we're taking the same way that we did. We're going to go back over here to our power plant. Now I'm going to go ahead, since I have concrete, I'm going to go ahead and put some footers in real quick. Now, it was funny because Saturday I was thinking about, just I was doing some exploring around the map and everything. And then it really dawned on me of where this oil node is. I didn't even think about it when I talked about this on Friday. In the normal game playthrough, that node is actually a concrete node. Basically, this is the area that I usually have my starter base whenever I'm playing in this area of the map. So I found that fascinating. I didn't even realize it until I was exploring and went, oh wait, I know where this location is. There used to be that was a concrete node. Because this was concrete, and then a little bit further down over, a little bit farther down was some other stuff. There was a bunch of iron and whatnot. Because there's 2 nodes over here. Get the right spot here. Because there's actually two nodes over here that used to be concrete in the previous playthrough, or not concrete, but used to be iron in the previous playthrough, and they are coal. So I have 2 coal nodes over here. And what it was is I used to come over here. So this was where I would start if I was playing. And sure enough, this coal node used to be iron, and so did that one. And then right underneath this lip here, over there, was a copper node. So, yeah. And I'm like, oh, well, then I know what to do. So, what I used to do is I used to go up this. Hold on one second. My wife always forgets that I'm streaming at this time of the night. At any rate, so there's sort of a ramp that lets you kind of go up and get to the waterfall up there, and that's where we're headed. So this where the ramp is right over here. So we just need to drive past this and go up the ramp, and then I'll take you up there. Because it was at the top up there where that water is that I used to build my coal power plant. So it's funny, we're going to be building a wet concrete factory where I used to build my power plant. And when I used to play on now it's been a while since I played this specific section of the maps. So that's why I found it fascinating. Oh, did I miss my turn? No, it's over here. And I think they redeveloped part of this area too, which is why I think I didn't notice it the first time. But yeah, this rock formation goes all the way up. And that waterfall is where we're going to be putting our wet concrete factory. Of course, there are plenty of critters here that we have to kind of work through. And I even streamed a lot of it on Twitch too. So back, several years ago, I think I even put like pathways down here so trucks could go, and I had stuff over there. Yeah, there are a lot of hogs over here. So many. And so what would happen is I would have right here is where I would build the road that would take you all the way across. Of course, we had the mounds and stuff right here. Now, this is actually where my other oil node is, right there. And I don't know what I'm going to do with that oil node yet. So it's just going to stay there for right now until I figure out what I'm going to do with it. But this waterway right here is where we're going to be putting this new factory. Now, I'm going to go through, there's a little shallow space right over here. I can walk across. And granted, there's a lot of hogs over here, and I could go on a killing spree, but, you know, don't necessarily need to yet. Now, on this other side, there used to be 3 coal nodes. Okay? But now there's just two limestone nodes. So there's a pure one here. And there's a pure one here. The third one is actually iron. So we have an iron node here. It's just a normal one, which I found funny because I'm pretty sure all 3 of these were pure back then. But at any rate, I don't know what I'll do with this one. I'm not too worried about it. I'm going to kind of clear the brush out of here, though. I like to be able to walk through here. So we're just going to clear all this out. I'm not going to keep any of it. I've got plenty of stuff. I'll just throw it out as I kind of clear the land, if you will. So did everybody have a good weekend so far? Did you do anything special for the 4th? I cooked on the grill and had sausage and hot dogs. So I am just going to cut all these out just because part of our factory is going to be in this area. Okay, so nice clean space. Get this one over here. Weekend was alright. Bought a replacement ham radio for the one that died at field day. Oh, how did it, you know what was wrong with it, or? Well, I mean, it's kind of sad that it died, but okay, we'll keep the mycelia, but we'll get rid of the rest. It was 20 years old, so not completely sure. Well, I wouldn't get rid of it. If you want my opinion, I wonder if maybe some of the capacitors might have died. You know, like popped. I mean, I know that like the stereo that I have an old just so everybody knows, I have an old rack stereo center, you know, the separate components, like, you know, the tuner, the receiver, or no, the tuner, the amplifier, tape deck, all that stuff. And you know, it was one of these that was built back in the 80s, and like some of the older electronics, some of them had kind of a habit of having their capacitors pop, and so there's been, you know, people doing restorations and whatnot, where they're I'm gonna get rid of all these rocks. I want to try to fix it. It has sentimental value. Yeah, yeah. I would check and see if maybe some of the capacitors might have popped. You know, it's probably something that can be fixed. It's just something that needs time. I guess I didn't quite get them all here. I just like to make sure we have a nice, clean space here. Okay. There we go. Yeah, I would look into that for sure. There we go. Alright, so like I said, we're going to be kind of working with these two nodes. Right there and right there. And I'm going to have... I think I like this spot right here. I think it'll work pretty good. I'm trying to figure out exactly how tall I need these to be. So I'm going to place one of the water things in there. It's only temporary. And it's just so I can gauge the height of what we're going to be working with here. Because it has been a few years since I built something over here, so... Yeah, so we're going to have to go a little ways up to get that, to get sort of a footing in place. I don't want to get too close to that in case I need to use that iron node for something. But I remember... Well, I think what I'll do, we'll probably, since it is a factory, I'm going to use the regular foundations. It's kind of a mixture. And there we go. And I'm just going to kind of... So all we're doing here is just making sure we get the height right, and then I'll bring it back and we'll set it in position. There we go. I think that's a good spot. Hey, buddy. Might be a good location. We're gonna... The idea is I want to try to actually build all the way across. In my original playthrough, when I built a coal one over here, it was I didn't actually go all the way across. So okay, probably. I'm looking at a few things here. Let's go one more. There. I think that's a good start. I mean, I don't know if I really... Well, I'll have to do it simply for the refineries, not and the amount of storage that I want to have, not necessarily for those. So we're going to kind of get a little bit of a setup here. And I'll just... So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 15 out, I think. It's nighttime. So I'll probably end up going all the way across. I mean, it's not that far to get over there. Let's go ahead and try to get over here. Might be too far. Yeah. So, that might be one too far. Yeah, that should be good. Now, I don't know exactly how far this way I'm going to go yet. Actually, this is about as far as I'm going to go because I don't want to build into that. And this might even be one too far too. I don't know. Probably. Yeah. We'll just, we'll kind of play this by ear here. I mean, I have a general idea what I'm going to be doing. As far as the foundations, I already know what I'm doing for the wet concrete part of it. I already got that mapped out. So this half may end up... it kind of wish I would have mapped it off of that right there and done it this way instead. You know what? I should have mapped it off of that. Because I know kind of what I want to do here. And maybe I should stop what I'm doing before I mess this up. So we'll end up taking some of this out. Because I want to actually base it off of that. This is where I should have started from. Because I want to be able to have the vehicle come this way. So I don't want it to have to do any crazy stuff here. Yeah, just like that. So I'm going to build this one. And then let me take these out here. Go 3 that way. 5 that way. Okay. I think that took me more or less. I think we can probably go one more. Trying to keep it with, like I said, I want to keep that separation because I want to do something else over there. And I'll take out whatever I don't end up using, so not too worried about that. And we get to stay above the beans here. So we're just kind of getting the frame-ish part of it out of the way. And then we'll worry about setting the rest of it up. Yeah. I may end up going over a couple more that direction. There we go. So now I want to go up that way just a little bit. So the replacement that you bought, is it newer or is it just like an older one also? Yeah, I think this will work right here. Now I am pulling from the dimensional depot with the concrete here, so hopefully that won't be too much of an issue. Model was released last year, so it's new. Okay. And hopefully this is wide enough too. Because the whole idea is they're going to be sitting over here, so... And we'll work on, you know, structural and all that stuff too. At some point, you know, by the time we get there, my dimensional depot will be built back up. Look at that. There's not a lot left in there. We're going to have to wait for the concrete to build back up. I don't think I have any in the truck, but I'll go look. I think I have any in here. Do I? I do not. Okay. All right, so let's sort of mark the center here. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That would make that one the center one right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So this is the center, so that kind of helps. Now, granted, our stuff is over here, so we're gonna be. I'm gonna treat these as individual lanes. Now, I suppose I could lay them out going that way instead. So let's lay out the center line for that. 1, 2. '21, 23. So it would be 11. That one. It looks like the same thing. Okay, let's make it white then. There. Now it's marked. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There we go. I'm like a kid at Christmas waiting on them to. Oh, yeah. I bet. So, did you get it on Amazon or did you buy it directly from the manufacturer? Okay, so we're going to start with the refineries. Kind of determine a little bit here. That works. Okay. So we're going to put these in groups of 4. Order it from a supplier called Gigaparts. Nice. I don't think I've heard of them. Is that what they specialize in? Is ham radio stuff? All right. We are going to be doing wet concrete. As you can see here, it takes 120 per minute. Now, we're going to be running Mark II miners at 200%, which is why we need 4 of these. And you can see each one takes 100 cubic meters of water. So that's why there's 400 per. And each one of these will make 80 concrete per minute, which basically when we're done, we'll be producing 640 concrete a minute. .3D printers, ham radios, just about everything electronic. Oh, okay. Surprised I haven't heard of them. Fascinating. All right, so I'm leaving myself some extra space here. One, because I want to make sure that I'm in deep enough water. So one of the things I should probably look at is where that's positioned, because you see, I don't need it to be directly under because the pipes, but you can kind of see. We just need to make sure that, you know, the edge of the hill's not going to interfere. It looks like it's going to work. So let's put these. I think I might. I have so much room here that I think I might give them a little bit of space. They don't have to be so tight next to each other. So we'll give them a little bit of extra space here. So as you can see, we're not even at the halfway point. And that's not even really that big of a deal because we're going to have sort of a warehouse of storage of concrete, because the goal of this is to basically supply other factories with concrete with this particular facility. I mean, I have one facility already that uses concrete for reinforced uh, encased industrial beams, but that's way off there, and basically it's what supplies me with this. So like the beams, these two here are being supplied by that factory, and that factory is small, and honestly that's really what it's there to help me with is at this point, because I probably won't go there very often, but it goes to a sink, everything's fine. This one is at my starter factory, and it's one Mark II miner, and it's running a traditional concrete, so it's got two instructors that are overclocked, I believe, something like that, and so it's producing way more. But you can see this dimensional depot doesn't exactly fill up very fast, and I'm already running at at what 60 per minute, I think. With double capacity, so that's why there's 2,000 or 1,000 in there. So some of this over here, might not necessarily stay so much as get replaced with a road. So that's why I wanted to make sure it lined up with that, because that's like the perfect lead in. So like this area right here might just get taken out in favor of a road, which is fine. Just fine. All right. Okay. So we have like a partial, let's say a quarter, plus another one. So another quarter here. Actually, that would be 3/4, right? So we're just going to move this into a similar position. That close to the center? I guess it is. All right, so there. And one more. All right, we can. Okay. Oh, right. Unpaint it. Okay. So everything is sort of ready as far as hooking all this stuff up now. Now all of these should already be set to the wet concrete recipe. So we just need to set up the water and then figure out how I'm going to run the belts. I'm not going to run the belts underneath this time. I know it would probably be easier, but I think I'm going to run them up here. So we're going to probably put some walls up or something over here. So we'll start by putting in the floor holes. So run that. Everything's nice and in line. Now, even though, when it comes to the piping, I mean, these pipes handle up to 300, but I'm going to be producing 400. for the set, right? Because each group of 4 is going to be 400 cubic meters. So I'm actually going to be running the Mark IIs in here. So, I mean, these handle 600. I mean, that's a lot. So, go with that. All right, so we got all the water up here. I mean, the rest of it's going to be down below. Now I'm going to be putting in some. Going to be putting in some catwalk stuff down below, so I can kind of maneuver around. Think of it like a maintenance level. Oh, how much? Okay, I have enough. Excuse me. Now you notice I haven't put the miners on yet, and that's because I'm thinking about how I want to feed these in. Because normally what you would want to do if you want to have a nice sort of balanced is you would kind of come in from the middle, split, then split again. So that way it's kind of going in, but not sure exactly how I want to do it yet. Hey, buddy. You're a bigger one, huh? Okay. Now, I'm going to take this out because I'm not sure exactly where I want to put it. What I wanted to do was, like, set it up to where I have, like, some sort of... like, catwalk entrance right here. Make it go like a nice clean look. Go up a little. It doesn't really line up with that, does it? We would want to have it line up with this. Right? We'd want to have it line up with that. Maybe move it over here. Actually, no. Let's put it right here. Why aren't you going that way? That was weird. Okay. Just gonna run it all the way down. We're gonna kind of use this to kind of help me position everything, so. All right. So we're gonna have one water handling these two. Basically every 2 pipes are going to be handled from one extractor. So what I would like to do is get the right location here. So it'll probably lead like that. Let's see what we can do here. Okay. Not exactly where I wanted it to go. But, I mean, it is what it is, I suppose. So, just kind of thinking a moment here. Let's do... We're going to do a support. And leading it up to here. Okay. Well, now that I think about it, if I'm doing 200 each, I don't really need the Mark II pipes. I might switch those out for the regular pipes now that I think about it. Because I'm only need 200 and this thing does 3, so it's fine. Okay. Now I wanted to get a nice sort of straightish line, so we're probably gonna have to put a pump on this thing. Now I can take this and I can feed it directly up. And then we can run a pipe like that. Let's see, can I do that? I can do it with this one, right? And then run that directly over. So run it like that. Then we take this pipe out. Do it again. What is going on here? That's odd. Why all of a sudden do you not like the pipe? Can't be, but well, let me go change the pipes upstairs. In case it's messing with it. Since, well, I don't think the U.S. is going to move on to the next stage. They are basically getting their ass handed to them by Belgium right now. It's now 4-1. That's not good. Alright, so let's see if we can get that to fit now. Did they even show up? Right? Kind of makes you wonder, doesn't it? I don't like... Alright, I guess we're not going to be able to put that in there. We're going to have to put the splitter in the angle here. So let's see if we can do it there here. There we go. Very nice. So what we need is 200. That's going to take 2 of these. So that percentage. Yeah, the I don't know, the US team just, it's almost like they forgot they had a game today. It was not good. Sad state of affairs. Anyway, there we go. All right. So I wanted to try to line that up really good so we can run the pipe up, just like that one. We'll run the T-junction here, just like before. And then we'll run a clean pipe from here to here. Okay. So the reason I said we might need pumps on these, just to make sure, these Mark 1 pumps. So I'm gonna just put them on there anyway. And that's just to make sure, since it is going to be pumping a lot of water. And then of course I got to run all the electrical down here too, so that's, that's going to need a minute. Sorry, I'm just readjusting some stuff here. I've been updating my OBS things, and I now have I had a joint chat before, but now I'm using the OBS one instead of the my bot one. Okay. So now we're going to go do another one. Here's the first one, two. Okay, so here's the first one right here. That's right on the line here. Oh yeah, because I'm going backwards now. So this one we started from the this side and worked our way over. Now we start from this side and work our way over. So yeah, it's kind of like that. All right. So we'll stick with a line here. Back a little. Nice clean line going in. Come from this side, put in a T-junction. Might get a better T-junction than this one. Let's see if we can get a clean line off of that. Did. Can't get to it. It won't let me see it, so let's walk out there. Do a one-sided one here. Sort of. See if we can't get to it there. There we go. Now we got it. Yeah, that's one way to do it. And I might even add some of those in there too. Just so we have something, right? I'll just leave that one there. So we need to run a pipe there. And let's go ahead and add in pump. Okay. And another one. That's the pipe right there. Encroaching on clearance. Oh, there's a rock in the way. Okay, well, how about that? Oh, shit. And then I fell right in the water. Apparently, I didn't go far enough with that. Right in the drink. It's all good, though. We can swim. Okay. Oh, is that another rock I can blow up? Looks like it. Yeah, that took care of it. Okay. Can't be nudged. Then why the fuck did... Okay, this is a weird one-off, but we'll take it. I guess. Everything else looks good, except for right here we have Shalloway, I guess. Okay. Okay, there's that. Still get the same basic feeling out of it. And let's see if we can get it on that. guess that'll have to do. That will have to do. So Chris, have you been watching any of the House of the Dragon season yet? All right. You haven't? Okay. Just curious, because I've been watching it, so. But I am into the whole fantasy stuff, so. As far as that stuff goes, I'm not a hardcore fantasy person. And I actually have the book that it's based on, Fire and Blood, but I still haven't quite read it yet. All right, so one of the things that I need to look at here, before I get too far ahead of myself, is the power. So we're going to be bringing a power pole up here. And the closest one is the one that's down there where the oil, where I did all that. So we need to bring that up too. So you just have to be aware of that. So we're going to be bringing one, it's going to be over here somewhere probably. So we could end up putting a power station in, like right there where I was just standing. So like maybe put a power station in right here. It looks like it would go pretty good right there. In which case the power would be coming in from this side. Just wanted to see how I wanted to handle this. So if I build this with walls going down instead of like pillars or something, then I suppose it could come in right here. Maybe we can get kind of go down here a little bit. So I'm wanting to run the power. That's the only reason why I'm thinking about this right now. So I can run a power line right there, at least for now. And I'll just sort of follow it down this line. They'll probably be running two separate power things, right? So this is the underneath side, and then obviously up above when we start wiring that up. Run back across here. Because this is all going to be like storage. Running a lot of storage here. And I don't even know really how many of these industrial storage bins we're going to run, but we are going to run a lot of them. Okay. Go one more. And we're going to put in the corner right here. Maybe run a few of these. That. So we're going to run them in between them, so. Suppose I probably could have ran that a little over there. So this can power that and that. That one out. Put in a one-sided one. More. Okay. Bring it to here. So we can take that, take it to, say, there. Down. Okay. Keep that one. I'll turn this one. Right. Hope everybody's enjoying the stream. If you are, don't forget to hit that like button. Stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Right now, the main title we're playing is, of course, Satisfactory. So, if you like these kind of things, you know, there'll be plenty of it. Ooh, I'll fall off that damn thing. I'm going to start a new Let's Play series of a different title in a couple of weeks. It will not be streamed. It will be just normal YouTube content. So I'll be back to doing that again. Looking forward to that. Definitely looking forward to that. Yeah, the game that we're going to be doing that with is Parcel Simulator. They got a new, they're supposed to be updating the game with the new warehouse and stuff on the 20th of July. So, yeah. 14 days away, so a couple weeks. Looking forward to that. I'm probably going to try to do at least one... Probably going to do one video where I'm just going to be talking about coming back to static. I guess it's called static videos or non-live videos. I'll probably be doing something in here while I'm sort of talking about it. So I am working on various things. for this game. So yeah, lots going on. Lots going on. Let's just add a little stair here. There. Got that kind of set for right now. Let's just put this here temporarily, so I don't have to keep using my jetpack. Alright, so I need to figure out exactly how I want to do these. Can I do them all underneath? Yeah. Technically I can. I have one node there and I have one node there. This staircase would be technically in the way if I did it that way. But I don't think there's any reason why I can't just do it up here. So I think it's just a matter of trying to, make it look good as far as like where the stuff feeds in from, kind of where it goes, that kind of thing. So maybe this probably wasn't the right place to put this. Just put it down there somewhere. Well, let's look at how these are going to fit. We can sort of have them kind of meet each other and then come this way. I suppose. Like that. So we'll just say for the sake of argument that we're going to put, I'm going to put a standard wall in. I guess it doesn't matter if it's this, well, yeah, it could be this one or this one. I don't want to do a concrete one here. Maybe we'll do it this time this way. And then we'll run a dual, maybe like that. And that's where it'll feed into. So I guess for now I'll put the ladder down or up the stairs over here. Actually, no, let's put the stairs like over here for right now. Okay, so this is how we want to feed it. That one will probably be fed over here. That one will be fed right there. That way we at least have them both kind of in there, if that makes sense. The real challenge is how do I want to actually get it over there? Now, what I did, or what I have done in the past is use these sort of big frame pillars and sort of put them in a position where you would kind of have them in sort of a configuration where you could take a belt right through them like that. I don't know if I necessarily need to do it that way this time. We also have these frames that we can use too. Right, so we can use something like this to bring them over. So like, let's say, I come in like this. Oh, let's say like that. And then let me go up here for a second. I'll show you what I'm thinking here. Because each one of them would already have their own lane here, right? So you would essentially have, let's say, a conveyor right there and one right there. And you could essentially take it right up, you know, very industrialish look. And then it's just a matter of getting it to that point, right? So, like, I'll take that one for example. So, um, you know, this thing's feeding at 420, which means that we would use a Mark IV belt. So it would be like taking this and running it directly up like that. So instead of using the what we normally use, right, to get them in there and using these lifts, there's nothing that says that we can't have it do like a traditional sort of look like that. At least in the sense of, you know, taking it up and putting it in a position to do, you know, do well. And then we could probably run another line there, line there. So these don't have to, they have a pretty good length, so one. Yeah, see, they move pretty good. Kind of like a roller coaster, if you think about it. But then the whole idea is I have to get, now you see here that technically I could put them inside of it. So what do you think? Should it be on top or should it be inside of it? What do you think? That is an interesting conundrum right now. Right? Because I could technically put it inside of it and run it across. Almost like that idea. So let's experiment with one side and just see if I can make that work. So we'll put the conveyor pole. Huh. It doesn't want to fit in here. Okay. Well, I guess that means that we gotta do it ourselves. Right? Overlapping. Dang it. Just jump over. Do it again. Come on now. You went too far. Oh, for heaven's sakes. That's where I want it. That's where I want it, right there. Now, if I did this right, if my math is right, and it probably isn't, I might be able to have it. Oh, I was hoping it was going to clear that. Dang. Okay. I was hoping that was going to clear it, but it didn't. So I'll have to try to put it there instead. Probably have to embed it in like that. And now we can see if that'll lead it in there. No? Curve? Why would it go curve? So that won't fit, but the other one would fit. Interesting. Well, I was hoping that would work. But these cross beams are kind of in the way. Because I like the idea of them coming through here, right? Now, did I get that centered right? Yeah, I got it centered right. Just surprised that the angle didn't work. I thought it would. I mean, that is the angle that we used up there, so. And of course I fell back down again. So it was worth a shot at least, right? Not to worry. Okay, so this, it's really tight close to this one, so let's... Maybe that'll work. And here we could do the Mark IV. Maybe that's the right height. Ah. That's not quite where I would want it. So maybe right there. Oh, come on, damn it! I had you on there. So probably take this one out then. And then just run that over. We'll have to run something in these. Got to try to figure out it doesn't work. Yeah, something like that. Something like that. Just sort of back up a little bit. Run that over. Okay, so here it's facing kind of like that, so I just I suppose we could just run it right up to it. Yeah. I mean, technically we can do it here too, right? We don't even need that. I'm pretty sure we could probably run a clean. A little bit of a twist. but I suppose that works. Not everything has to use those. You don't always have to use lifts, right? We can have a crazy way up the hill. Right? Right. Okay. So now that we kind of have this situated, we need to create walls going this way. I'm going to start with just this first section. And sort of as a trial run here of where my brain is at. So again, we have this one here, and then we have that one there. And it doesn't matter which one of these is, because they're both doing the same thing, right? So one of the advantages is we have these wall mounts right here. So I can sort of have a wall mount set up here, and we can kind of determine, you know, who gets what. So in the beginning, that one would probably be like that. Now, obviously, we can't run them in parallel. You know, I can't run another one like that. But what I can do is take that one and put it up top. So we can go up to here. Now, I'm going to need more space, so let's maybe go to there. Let's see if that's enough room. Let's go a little bit further down. Further down. It should be enough to where, yeah, so it's a nice clean go. So we can take the top one and we can run it down and have it feed those bottoms, the other set there. And what we need is to feed the bottom one to these. Okay. Now, what I would normally do in this situation is I would run it down to, let's say, right here. I believe it's on that. Trying to match it here. So, because I can run this all the way down. So I can come down here. Boom. And, you know, I don't technically need this much speed after a certain point. I mean, these things are only they're taking in 120 a minute, so I guess that's not too bad. But what I've done in the past is I usually split and go straight in, split and go straight in, split and go straight in like that. So you'd put a splitter in or something like that. So let me just show you here. You know, I'd put in a splitter or something like that, and then, you know, it would splinter off. So this is a style. I mean, it's very usable. I can put that there. You see where it is. It should feed directly in. Now I can use, you know, I could use a lift here, and